Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, Randy, Rebbie, Latoya, Janet, and the biggest star of the bunch, Michael, aren't the only members of the Jackson family to have achieved tremendous success in the music industry. R&B trio 3T, made up of Tito and Delores, Dee Dee, Martes' sons, Taryll, Toriano Jr, a.k.a. Taj, and Tito Joe, a.k.a. TJ, also took the Jackson name to the top of the charts in the mid-1990s. When the boys were young, they appeared on TV and on stage with their famous uncles and aunts. They also began imitating the Jackson brothers with brooms and mops, and learned to play instruments by themselves. Soon, they were offered a deal from Motown Records, the same label that launched the Jackson 5, but they decided to follow their Uncle Michael's advice to enjoy their youth and turned it down. Sadly, not long before releasing their first project, tragedy struck. The boys' mother, Dee Dee, now divorced from their father, was found dead in her boyfriend's pool in August 1994. Though first ruled an accidental drowning, her family knew immediately that there had to be much more to the story, especially since they knew she was terrified of water and couldn't swim. Ultimately, her case was ruled a homicide after prosecutors successfully argued that she had, in fact, been beaten. The boyfriend, Don Bohanna, was eventually found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. He has always maintained his innocence. The Jacksons said they believed a dispute over money led to Dee Dee's death, alleging Don killed her in a rage after she refused to help him. Under the watchful eye of their uncle, the King of Pop, the brothers signed with his label MJJ Music. He wrote songs and served as executive producer for 3T's debut album, Brotherhood, released in November 1995. It included their debut single and subsequent international hit, Anything.
I would do anything, girl, anything for you.
Written by the trio, it became a top 20 hit in the US on the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 15, while also capturing the number 2 position on the UK singles chart. 5 other singles off the album were released in Europe, where the group received a ton of attention, including 24/7, I Need You, Tease Me, Gotta Be You, and Why, a duet with their Uncle Michael that was slated to appear on his 9th studio album, History, Past, Present, and Future Book 1, but it was taken out and he decided to give it away to his nephews. 3T were so popular in Europe that in 1996, they were named the biggest selling group there after Spice Girls. As well as things were going, the undeniable fact that they sounded so much like Michael made it difficult to not compare their material to him, and according to some, didn't prove to be such a positive thing. Though their success in the US was limited, 3T received a lot of love overseas and spent the next few years touring in Europe and doing some songwriting for various soundtracks. The trio did attempt to complete an album after the release of their debut, but it unfortunately never saw the light of day. It wasn't released due to Michael's strained relationship with Sony. He clashed with the company chairman, Tommy Mottola, which resulted in issues for 3T as they were signed to the same label as their uncle through MJJ Music. In the end, the trio had to change labels and couldn't take their work with them, so they were left devastated over the realization that they would have to start all over again. The group's official second album, titled Identity, ultimately did get released in March 2004. It spawned 2 singles, Stuck on You, a cover of a Lionel Richie song, and Sex Appeal. 5 years later, a major tragedy would strike the entire Jackson family and naturally affect 3T greatly, both personally and professionally. Their beloved Uncle Michael would unexpectedly pass away at the age of 50 in 2009. In 2012, a judge would award TJ and his grandmother Catherine co-guardianship of Michael's kids, Paris, Prince, and Blanket. Taryll, who'd been working on solo music for a while, released his debut solo single, Forever, around this time, from his debut EP, My Life Without You, which was released on Mother's Day 2012 in honor of his late mother Dee Dee. On his birthday, August 8th, later that year, he released the single Best of All Time off his second EP titled Undeniable as a tribute to his Uncle Michael. On December 26, 2013, British television station ITV2 announced that 3T would be part of Season 2 of The Big Reunion. The show featured chart-topping bands who were big in the UK pop music scene between the 90s and early 2000s. The program followed their journey from reunion to rehearsals to the moment they took the stage for an electric comeback performance. During the process, the brothers decided to be more open about what caused the halt in their career. They pinned the reason why they weren't able to perform, despite never having broken up, on politics and outside forces. TJ told ITV's Lorraine, "When my uncle passed, my brothers and we told our grandmother we'll be there for her and do everything we can to help her and the kids. It's been hard, it's been tough. This is why it's taken us so long to come out into the spotlight again, as well because our focus has been them, to make sure they're back on track and adjusting as best as they can." 2 years later, the trio dropped their third effort, solely written and produced by them, titled Chapter 3. In October 2015, 3T, as well as some other members of the Jackson family, starred in their very own reality show called The Jacksons' Next Generation. The series documented the three brothers as they worked to jumpstart their career, record a new album, and the struggle involved in trying to manage their day-to-day lives, careers, and families under the constant spotlight of their famous last name. Even though the season only consisted of 6 episodes, a good amount of drama was still able to be packed in. For starters, a woman named Tanae Jackson came forward claiming to be a sister of Taj, Taryll, and TJ's. She even went as far as having a DNA test done, which proved that she wasn't. Also, the toxicity and dysfunction within the relationship between Taryll and Bree, who some reports refer to as a girlfriend and mother of his children, while others call her his wife, was put on full display. Nothing was resolved on the show, as was evident when the couple showed up again on Iyanla Fix My Life 2 years later to discuss the same issues. Also around this time, as a tribute to their mother, the 3Ts launched the Dee Dee Jackson Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing music therapy to children. Over the last several years, Taryll, a father of 2, has continued to release various solo projects. He also began uploading weekly vlogs to his YouTube channel at the start of 2022. TJ's had his hands full more than anyone for a while, taking care of a wife, 4 children, 2 stepchildren, plus Michael's 3 after he passed. He finally did get to release his solo debut album in 2021. In May of this year, the release of his acoustic album led him to embark on his own solo European tour. Taj had his moment of releasing several of his own solo projects beginning in 2010. He's now also married with 2 children. Lately, though, he's been consumed with a much more pressing mission. He's currently the driving force behind a documentary focused on clearing his Uncle Michael's name. It's in response to the HBO film Leaving Neverland that interviews his alleged sexual abuse victims. He promises that the series will reveal how his uncle was betrayed, entrapped, and extorted throughout his life. A GoFundMe campaign has also been set up in support of the project. As far as when the brothers will be seen performing together again, that time is just around the corner. Fans can next see 3T doing their thing live on stage on August 27th when they return to the We Love the 90s tour in the Netherlands. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any future videos. See you next time!